Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're not here, welcome to the channel. And today I thought that we'd just go back and down the memory road and look back on Fortnite Chapter 2 of Season 5. Where do I even begin with this season? So for those of you that don't remember, basically, in Chapter 2 Season 4, that was the Marvel season, and then it's like, after the Galactus event, we basically had like a second black hole where it's like, it was like a countdown that said to be continued in Season 5, and then it's like, the servers went offline for the rest of the day, until the next day, and just, yeah, what's it called? A lot of immense hype built up, and that was the only time, um, so that was the only time, as of right now, like this day, that both me and my brother like stayed up till like 1 a.m. to watch the live YouTube premiere of the story trailer, and then also of the Battle Pass trailer, and like we were like flipping out, like, oh my gosh, there's bounties, there's the Mandalorian. Well, actually, we already knew about the. So basically, about like 4 or 5 days before the season started, a leak of the Battle Pass came out, and it showed the Mandalorian, and then some pancake guy who turned out to be a Mancake, but of course we didn't know that at the time. So then it's like, I sent that to my best friend who's like a huge fan of like Star Wars and the Mandalorian. And I mean, like, I also am a big fan of that stuff, but probably not as much as him. And then it's like, I was like, hey, look at this. And like in text form, he flipped out. Like he was just like, yeah, like, like all caps, like spamming letters, just like screaming, you know, it, it's like a lot of excitement. But anyway, on the topic of the Mandalorian, it was a skin that I had wanted ever since Chapter 2 started, because Chapter 2, of Fortnite, and the Mandalorian show both started at like around the same time. So of course I thought, oh man, it would be really cool if we got him as a skin, but I knew that it probably wouldn't happen for like a few months, or like even like a year or two, because like like it had just come out, and no one really knew that it was going to be like that big of a phenomenon at the time. But yeah, but it was in the Battle Pass, and it was so cool. It's like literally, it was so customizable with like everything, like every single shoulder and knee pad and helmet. It's like it all was like completely customizable, and it was just like really cool. Also, the Season 5 Battle Pass is it also just like, it was just such a cool Battle Pass. It's like, it kind of reminded me of Season 2, where it's like it felt almost like like a cast of characters. I wouldn't say that it's the same level as Season 2, because like in Season 2 we had like the cutscenes kind of like showing a bit more like a backstory, but this was still like the next best thing. It was really cool. And also, we also got our first secret skin since Chapter 2 Season 1 that season, with the Predator, and I kind of like it that way, because what's it called? Because with this way, it's like, it still remains a secret, but then they actually hint at it, so then there's still like a chance of people like guessing what it is, and they did, of course, but still. And plus, then also, with the Predator releasing, it also left the door open for people predicting that that we also, I'm just looking at my dog, that we also would get the alien in Fortnite, which that also happened. And what's it called? So, right off the bat, new things this season: bars, a currency, because like, I guess like back in Chapter 1 we had the vending machines, which we could buy stuff with like mats, and also like the upgrade benches, where it's like, oh, we could upgrade stuff with mats again. But this time we have actual, like, in actual currency, and also NPCs, because I guess it's like, at first I thought, wait, but I thought they can't talk inside of Fortnite. But then it makes sense, because it's like, if reality is breaking down, then obviously it's like they'd start being able to talk if reality in the loop is breaking. It just made sense at the time. What's it called? Also, what's weird is that we got a desert location in the wintertime, so it was kind of weird with like the winter, because it's like, the snow actually like spread in the middle of a match that I was playing, and it was crazy. But it's like this year the snow Yeah, just my dog. And that year the snow it didn't spread as much because I guess because of the desert and like they had the Christmas event right after the season started because it's like the the season started on like December 2nd and most Christmas events start like in like the first week of December. So yeah. If the camera starts shaking it's because my dog is trying to like jump on the camera. Um and also that Christmas event it wasn't as good as the year before that. But just because what's it called? Because like in the year before that it's like that season chapter 2 season 1 it didn't really have a theme, so I guess there was more room to like breathe, and like they really let it all out that season with like snow, ice cubes, ice launchers, like just like all sorts of stuff. And then this season they brought back planes, which is cool, but that Christmas update it also brought a pretty bad change to the game that nobody liked at all, and that is that you had to put fuel in any vehicle, except for sharks, but they're an animal. So like cars needed fuel, and that made sense because they were like like for like roads and stuff, and like it made sense, But then boats, why boats? And then planes, and like planes are like super like hard to like drive on the ground, and like you'd have to get a gas can, a portable gas can, and then bring it over there or something. And it's weird because what's it called? Because This season was the season that this season was the season that they got rid of the Fortilla, and the Fortilla had a gas station that was in the water. So I don't know what that really was all about. It's just weird. So yeah, so of course, although that Christmas event it wasn't as good as the year before that, I still can't complain about 2 free skins and even more free stuff because free stuff is free stuff and content is content. It was fun. And also, uh, what's it called? That Christmas update, that also was when I decided, okay, you know what? I am going to like really just like start playing Fortnite more because like in season 4, I'd kind of slowed down a bit because it's like my friends had stopped playing as much. But then it's like in that Christmas update, I was like, okay, yeah, I have to start getting into this more. And so I did. I played like not every day, but I played like almost every day probably. Um, oh yeah, another thing this season is that they changed the challenge loadout, and it's like it was really weird to get used to at first. I did not like it at all. And they got rid of the actual physical punch cards, but they kept them as blue challenges, but it's nowhere near as good because it doesn't even show you all of them at once. I I feel like it'd be much better if they had like the two at the same time, so it's they had punch cards which like it would let you see all the different punch cards, but then it also had the blue challenges where it's like it showed you which ones we're close to doing because yeah, in seasons 3 and 4, the thing with the punch cards is that it's like I would forget how close I was to doing one, so then like that so yeah, so like that kind of made me just forget about them. But then in season 5 I couldn't see them at all, so it's kind of a downgrade, but still. Also, what's it called? Um, at first I didn't really like the quest changes that much, but then eventually it grew on me because it actually lets you see your challenges in the middle of a round, which sure, you could do that before, but that was like a whole different side menu. And yeah. Also, another thing this season, they added some of my most wanted changes since like forever. A permanent trios mode, a map that shows okay, yeah, so they completely upgraded the map this season as well. Basically on the map, it showed you how much damage the storm did. It showed you which storm phase it was. It showed you how many teams were left. It was crazy. My main issue with the map is just the fact that it's like I got rid of the grid, which I mean like I didn't really use the grid that much aside from like a looking up a looking up how to do the challenges online, it said, oh yeah, look in this grid, but then there was no more grid. Another bad thing about the new map is that what's it called? It's like it's kind of wobbly, so it's like it's not set in place. It's like you kind of can move the camera around, but it just kind of makes it harder to navigate. But it's not the end of the world. Also, what's it called? And another thing that I forgot to mention the battle pass is that what's it called? They also changed the battle pass, so it's like it's not a big change. It's just kind of like it changes the layout a bit, and basically, if you did weekly challenges, it would give you, and basically, if you did a set number of weekly challenges, it would give you a rewards, right? And then those rewards, um, they weren't the biggest thing in the world, you know. It was like a new style, or like a spray, or like an emoticon. But one that really stuck out to me, it was a loading screen. And when I saw it, my jaw hit the couch, went through the couch, hit the floor, went through the floor, went through our basement, went through the other side of the world. My jaw just like was like unhinged. It literally was insane. And that loading screen that I saw, my dog is back. That loading screen that I saw, it was a loading screen of female Midas. A skin that people in the community online have been like just like posting around for like literally months. And plus, what's it called? That skin concept was made like right at the very beginning of the lockdowns, and like of course in the lockdowns, oh hey buddy, and then of course like hey, in the lockdowns it's like people are on their phones more, so like a lot of people saw that concept, and you know, it's like it wasn't the most creative thing in the world, you know, but it's just the fact that it's like it took the entire Fortnite online community by storm, no pun intended, and and yeah, and like just seeing it in game finally was so cool. I bought it instantly as soon as it came to the shop. Um, Speaking of the shop, they killed it with the cosmetics this season. You know, it's like sure, it's like in last seasons they were like cool or okay or whatever, but this season they knocked it out of the park. So you may be wondering, well, yeah, but isn't this whole season kind of like all about crossovers? There's not that much creativity there, but that's the thing. It also gives them a bit more of like a step up to kind of like, you know, it's like they have their footing and they know what to do. So basically, in the Terminator set, they had a back bling that it was the Terminator's arm, and then each kill, it would do a thumbs up, and like it would twitch as you like walk around. It was just super cool. And what's it called? And then also in the Street Fighter set, they had a literal arcade machine back bling, and that is the most reactive back bling in the entire game. If you move, that stick moves. If you're in the storm, it shows it um it it shows Blanca charging up his lightning. If you are on the spawn island, it shows the choose your location or choose your character screen. If you're knocked or low on health, it shows the continue screen. If you get a kill, there's 1 of 3 chances for like which like character does like their iconic move. It was like just like a crazy thing. And also, speaking of the crossovers, like this season really showed everyone that when they said like a year before the season came out that they wanted to make a metaverse, and that's basically kind of like a Ready Player One style thing where it's like a ton of different like characters from other franchises would be in the same place, you know. When they said that they were gonna make a metaverse, they were not kidding. We got Kratos. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. Master Chief, um, The Walking Dead, Terminator, um, Alien, Predator, Street Fighter. Uh, Ant-Man isn't that much of a surprise because you know it's like it's Marvel. The Flash, the crossover skin that I have wanted since literally forever ago. Literally, like this has to be like in my top 2 most wanted crossovers. You know, it's like it's tied with Back to the Future. I really really wanted it. Um, but yeah, what's it called? And then yeah, so when I saw that, it's like when I saw the leaks for that, I literally like after rehinging my jaw after like a month or two, it completely unhinged again. And you know, it's the same process: couch, floor, basement, all the layers of the earth. Like literally, this season was just insane. Is what I'm trying to say, you know. And there weren't that many map changes like in throughout the season. You know, it's like on the first day of the season, it was like crazy. You know, another desert. There's sand. There's 0 point crystals, and also the thing with the 0 point crystals is that it's annoying that you can't pick them up. But then but then I guess that is what the 0 point fish is for. But it's just like it's also hard to like actually consume it because it's like it has physics, so it's like it'll roll downhill, and you know there's a lot of hills in the desert. Also, I actually really liked the desert being in the very center of the map. since what's it called? Since it's like it felt like a lot more flat out and open, but not exactly empty because there were still like trees and buildings and like a sheriff's office in the butter barn. We'll get to that in a little bit. But it was just like it's like the desert last chapter. It was cool since like it was like a bit more cartoony, and that was kind of like the theme of that chapter, I guess. Like it was a lot more cartoony and like like there's like super tall mountains and there's like archways, but this just like it felt more realistic, which is weird because it's like there's like a literal ball of energy like suspended in the air. And yeah, also the 0 point, it's like it's weird how it's like it doesn't work as a rift anymore, but I guess it makes sense because it's so high up. But it's like it gives you shield if you fly into it, and then underneath it in the very center of the map there is chests, 3 chests, and that made it like an immediate hot drop. So anyway, let's talk about some more of the map changes. Butter Barn, it was so cool. It reminded me of like those places that it's like, like an old Western like restaurant. It's like themed around that, but then like it has like modern food. But then like it had its own theme song in the background, which came to the item shop, and it is the best music pack ever. It's just my opinion though, but still. What else? As for map changes, Salty Towers, I only went there once or twice because so many people landed there. It literally was the new Tilted. Like, that's literally what it was for a while. Although, I didn't really like how it's like, there's these random puddles of water in like a city, which is submerged in sand. It's partially flooded. That made no sense to me. But still, also, what's it called? The sand tunneling, it made for some great mobility, and one day me and my friend just got on, and like for hours we just like it's like we'd land on like a chest, get our loot, and then like we'd tunnel around and just find people, and then like just like we'd track them down and then get their loot, and then like it would just go on and on and on. It was so cool. The Colossal Coliseum. A coliseum is the type of thing that it's like one of the few iconic things in history that is like we haven't gotten in Fortnite yet, but now we have, and it was really cool because like each time it had a randomly generated battlefield. They even had one that was like in water, and it was like a reference to that one in the old playground in chapter 1 where it's like the 2 boats. So yeah, so that was cool. Although a big problem that I had with the season is the unbreakable walls. That made it like impossible to get out of both the IO bunkers, the Colossal Coliseum, and with Stealthy Stronghold, it wasn't the end of the world because there were multiple doors, and also you could like get a lot of mats and just build out of there. It wasn't that hard to escape Stealthy, but the other ones were annoying. Hunter's Haven, it was a cool kind of like idea with like the apartments, and it's like it was what was on the inside that mattered, so it's like that's where the hunters stayed and stuff. But it was just very boring and not that fun to fight in. And also, every single time, IO guards would spawn there. At that place, they would always spawn there 100% of the time. And the IO guards would just like spawn randomly at places. And they were like the new Marauders that season. Although they weren't as bad because they didn't have stink bombs or RPGs, but they were still really bad. And also the underground bunkers I think there were more IO guards, and I think there might have been some better loot, but not a lot of better loot, I guess. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what else there is to say. Oh yeah. A lot of rumors going around that season, like of like a FNAF collab, which was it's like no one knew if it was like, because it's like the creator of the game said, oh, it's not happening, but then it's like he trolls about that type of stuff online, so people didn't really know. But yeah, it didn't happen. And then there also were the rumors. There also were the rumors of Family Guy getting into Fortnite, and that's still going around today to an extent. Even though a few days ago I saw that it was officially confirmed by Epic, or like some sort of like an insider that only was put in the files to troll leakers. So yeah, we got trolled. But yeah. What's it called? And the other thing is that a lot of people don't really like the crossovers of this chapter or this season or both. But 2 things. 1, I really, really like crossovers in general. And 2, like in Fortnite, it's just like it's really cool to just like see it to this extent. It's literally It's literally a metaverse, you know? And I just really love the idea of like just like of like you don't know what iconic character is dropping in next, you know, like it just felt like such a cool idea to me. It's nothing exactly new, but it was still just so cool because basically at the time my grandma was staying with me and my family, and what's it called? And then it's like what's it called? So basically, since it's in the winter time, basically, um my routine is that it's like I'd wake up, eat breakfast, I'd say hi to my grandma, I'd shovel, I'd do whatever stuff I had to do that day, you know, like have a snack, do schoolwork, whatever. Um, Depending on if it snowed more, I'd shovel again, and then it's like I would watch the Wheel of Fortune with my grandma, and then it's like in between commercial breaks because so the Wheel of Fortune starts at the same time as the item shop changes. I would sneak in my Switch and like check the item shop and see what came in, and like yeah, it was just really cool. Um, to just like see these iconic characters just like getting into the game and stuff. Um, I guess the only other thing that I really wanted to talk about was the loot pool. Oh yeah, so the loot pool and a few disappointments I had. Yeah, oh that's what it is. So basically, the loot pool, they vaulted the pump again, and that caused a huge uproar again online. But they brought out the tank back, so that's good because I was really upset about that when they got rid of it in the last season, in the Marvel season. But yeah, they also had the Dragon's Breath shotgun, which it actually reminds me a lot of the double barrel, where it's like basically it's very good if you're it's very good if you can get a good shot off on your first go, but if you don't, you're kind of done for. Unless you have like an SMG, but it's still, you know, like you missed a shot, you know. Um, and also it sets stuff on fire, which it's like it's a cool idea, but it made it really hard to do stuff because of the fact that it's like a shotgun is close range. If you shot with the fire shotgun, then like it would set you on fire and your enemy, but you know it would set you on fire too. So yeah, what else? The Mandalorian had his ship crash, so that was a pretty cool location. It didn't really have anything though. It might have had like one chest, but then it's like, oh, the Mandalorian just like spawned there, and like, hey, it was cool just having like, okay, look, so the top 3 landing spots in the first week of the season were the 0 Point, Salty Towers, and then Mando's ship. And like just like his mythics were so cool too because it was like a jetpack that actually would like properly let you aim and like hover in midair, but then it also could be used to rise. And then it's like that and it's like I can't remember the name exactly. I'm sorry about that. I'm pulling a blank, but it's like, you know, his fork sniper, you know, it's like a sniper that it's like thermal, and it's like it has like the fork thing, and it's like it can electrify. The Ambin sniper. Why do I keep saying that? The Ambin sniper rifle. That's what I'm thinking of. It was good for long range and close range because like in long range it was thermal and it had a scope and you could, you know, shoot people, but it's like it had like a very loud iconic noise, you know, so it's like yeah, people would know if you were there. But then it also had like a cool charge ability that you could do, and that was really cool. I really liked that. I got a few kills with it. It was really cool. Oh, what else? Oh yeah. So a side note is that what's it called? I still think that it's really hilarious that the tier 100 of season 5 is Baby Yoda. Like, just think about that for a second. The tier 100 of Fortnite Chapter 2 season 5 is Baby Yoda. It's just crazy. It's crazy and insane. And then it's like, yeah, tier 100, it also lets you upgrade, make the final upgrade of the Mandalorian's armor. So that was also a cool thing. The exotics were another great thing. At the beginning of the season, it was kind of bad because it's like the NPCs only sold one, and they were really expensive. It was like 1,250, and that's like over a tenth of the max amount of gold you can hold at once. but luckily they nerfed it down to like 500 bars instead, and then they also made it so that they held 5 of each exotic, and the dub was like so fun to use in basically any situation, like get a good shotgun shot off, you like get sent back, so then it's like, your enemy, it doesn't they don't have a good chance of actually seeing and hitting you. And also, if you got 5 dubs and like built up a little bit, you literally could like shoot yourself up into the 0 point. It would launch you up, and then you could literally fly like that. That was like the funnest thing ever. And another cool exotic that I see like nobody talking about ever is I forgot the exact name, but it's basically a sniper that shoots clingers. And I got that once in Team Rumble, and I like shredded the enemy team. I got like I think I got like 12 kills with just that one gun, and I kept like shooting, and like I think once I got like 3 kills at once because they were all like boxed up, and it's like the clinger only did like 60 damage in the explosion and like 10 damage on impact, 15 headshot I think. And so it's just like a plunger with a bomb attached to it. No big deal. But yeah, I only really used it that one time, or no, I think I tried using it after that, but what's it called? But it's like I kept getting killed off spawn with it, so it was kind of annoying. Some more cool ones are the Shadow Tracker. They somehow found a way to make the Silence Pistol even better, with it tracking enemies. That was really cool. The Storm Scout is an exotic, which is weird because it's like, it's like we got used to it being just like a normal thing in the loot pool just a few seasons ago. But yeah, it makes sense as an exotic, I guess. We also finally got a Chug Jug, or not Chug Jug, a Chug Splash version of the Bandit Bazooka. The Chug Cannon. And it's still in the game at the time that I'm making this video, and that's in Chapter 2 Season 7, like exactly 1 month before the season ends. It's still in the game if you defeat a llama. But yeah, what's it called? And then also the burst quad launcher was kind of weird because like it shot 2 at once, and it did a good amount of damage. Not the greatest, but it was still pretty good. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say aside from we got the Mos Eisley Cantina, or just like a cantina from Star Wars. So that was a cool thing to see. Oh yeah, some disappointments with the season. Sorry, my camera just kind of fell. Some disappointments. The, so the loot pool. Oh wait, yeah, wait, no. The loot pool, the season, it's a step up from season 4, which that loot pool, I did not like that loot pool at all. It's not the greatest loot pool in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. What's it called? Another thing is that it's like the portals for the crossover characters, they didn't really, I mean, like, sure, like, it teased the upcoming crossover and characters, and like it had like a blurry PNG teaser, so yeah, we all love blurry PNGs, but I wish they did more with it. It's like I mean, like, sometimes they had like noises, but it's like they didn't do a whole lot with it. It's like a cool thing could have been like a special mythic weapon drop there, or like a boss spawn there, or like in the Walking Dead one, some zombies, like some actual like zombies spawned in, or like maybe like even just like 1 or 2 rifts could have spawned there at those portals, and it would have been good. But no, there wasn't really that much. But it did look kind of cool at the end of the season when it's like it had the portals linking into the 0 point, which that season it looked very bubbly and stuff all around. This is going to be a long video. Sorry about that, guys, but I really love this season, so it makes sense for me to really go into detail about it. What's it called? Another thing is that we didn't get really any updates. Well, no, like we got a few updates, but not a lot of updates like we did in Chapter 1 or like in Season 6 and 7 and whatever of Chapter 2. But yeah, what's it called? I don't think that we really needed that much, to be honest, because it's like at the beginning of the season it was such a huge map change. Like the whole like center of the map was just like completely altered. There's great mobility, like great loot and stuff. I'm trying to think what else to say. I guess I mostly said everything I wanted to say. Oh yeah, it is a bit annoying how the Stormwings, the planes only stayed in for like 2 weeks for Christmas. But it was fun while it lasted, I guess. What's it called? Oh yeah, what's it called? We also, I keep saying what's it called? We got some great emotes this season, like like how we got the boomin' one with like the beatbox, the boombox. Yeah, so that emote was cool. We also got Gangnam Style, um, an emote that I never knew that I needed in the game. I got it the second time it came around, since I didn't have enough V-Bucks the first time. Um, what's it called? I also um I also really enjoyed the the phone it in. I don't think that's what it's called. Oh, excuse me, but it's like that one where it's like you're standing on the record player and it's like you're spinning around as it plays music. That was a cool one. Another cool one is where it's like you're sitting you're sitting in the office chair and it's like it's spinning around as you move. Um the other one that I can think of off the top of my head is like the sing along one where it's like you will just like walk around singing Christmas carols with other players, and that was cool because it was a free emote. And like, heck, I saw a lot of clips online of people like it is like a normal solo match, just like walking down the street, just singing, just singing for the holidays. You know, of course, it never happened. Of course, it never happened in any of my matches, but still. Um, so final verdict. Letdowns. Let's see. So letdowns. They didn't do that much with the portals. There weren't really that many updates, but I'm kind of fine with that. The unbreakable walls were very annoying. The IO guards popping up was also annoying. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Oh wait. Well, I guess one thing, if you want to count this Fortnite season, it's like I spent the most money on Fortnite in like a single season in this season. I I I mean, like, I don't even know like how much I did hit spend, and I don't even want to know. But like, I got quite a few of the crossovers. I got the Flash, the Terminator. I got like a few of them. I also got the female Midas. So yeah, that also was another one. That also was another one. Oh yeah, this season also was the beginning of the Fortnite crew. It kind of divided thing. It kind of divided thing in the community. Although I think they had a very great first pick because what's it called? The first pick of the Fortnite crew was Galaxia, and that's cool because I've always wanted a Galaxy skin. And plus, it's like it's Galaxy and rainbows, and you know, who doesn't like rainbows? And yeah, it just like it just goes like extremely well, like a hand in hand together. And it has two styles, and a cool pickaxe, and a cool back bling, and V-Bucks in the battle pass. So yeah, so me and my friends got that day one of the season. Other than that, upsides to the season. I mean, like I've already talked about this whole video, but upsides of the season. Great mobility, like the sand